Hey guys, welcome to week 2 as we go over a Python program. Today we're going to cover logical conditionals such as if statements, else statements, as well as for and while loop. So let's hop right into it. Most if else statements, you're going to usually see those a lot as a program. It's like the foundation. You just see that a lot. Loops, you're going to see those a lot too, but the goal with loops, you'll see you really don't want to use those if you do not have to, honestly. So let's go forward. Okay, let's look at the first example for the if and else statement. So we got 3 consts, even though in Python, of course, consts aren't a real thing. I just made it in all caps just to give you the idea, because I'll show you, for example, why it's so important. If I make a change to this right here, and I say now warrior is going to be without an A, everywhere I put the warrior will be changed. But if I go back, add A here, but if I go ahead and make warrior a string and then a warrior string here, let's say like this, if I want to change this, I have to change it in both areas. And trust me, as software development gets very large, imagine having this in 5,000 places. Yeah, you can learn real quick to just put it all in the variable. Variables are your best friend. Use them. Going forward, FEC, we have these 3 consts: alien, demon, and warrior. Now we have this array of attacks. You have array, sword slash, and fire beam. And each one goes accordingly to the player, and you'll see how that works. So now we got 3 selections right here. Player selects warrior, player selects alien, player selects demon. And we're going to comment out these 2. Comment all of this too as well. We're not ready for that just yet. And we can see right here when we run this program, you can see and guess what it's going to possibly be. And as you can see, sword slash. So that's telling me that the player selected warrior, therefore he's going to do the attack of sword slash. And we got that by the conditional saying, if player select is alien, is not. If, well, else if, pretty much saying, skip this one since this doesn't, well, not say skip, but do not do this one since that's not right. That's not true. Check this next one. Player select equals warrior. That is true. Player select is warrior. So then we're going to print attack 1. Index starts from 0, remember? So 0, 1, and that's why we print out sword slash. And as you can guess, if we do the same thing for the rest of these, just for funsies, we get the appropriate. Oops. Line 1. Something is in line 1. I think I messed something up on accident. Line 1 in module IR not defined. What? I don't know, but let's run it again. Okay, I don't know. That was just weird. But anyways, as you can see, we selected demon. Fire beam is what we got right here as an index 2. 0, remember, start from 0, 1, and 2. And again, I just want to do all of them just for funsies. And we can see right here, we do demon. Oops, actually, go back. We already did demon. Let's do alien. As you can see, we're going to get ready because the alien shoots are ready. And that right there would have passed this line. Now, later on, we're going to talk about conditionals on how that it can get really nasty when you have multiple conditionals. That'll be later. We go more in deeper in that. We can have like an if player select equals alien and this and that or this. You get them really deep, then it starts to get complicated because what can happen is, let's say this right here says 1, 2, 3, and this one right here says 1, 2. Well, 1, 2 is true here, but it'll be caught right here before it even gets to this one. So it makes a problem, but we'll go over that later on another video that goes more in depth on conditionals. So that right there covers the conditionals. I'm gonna go over to the while loop. So for the while loop, simply it is a continuous conditional checking. That's usually what you can use it for. We can literally transfer this if statement and put it right here into this while loop to make it say, hey, anytime a player selects, constantly change to the correct one. And that's usually you'll see that in gaming or other things that just needs a while loop. But we're gonna keep it simple again. No in-depth stuff until we're ready to get into that stuff. This is just all beginner and getting you through understanding Python so you can get to that advanced stuff. So if you can see right here, this while loop. While loop simply says count is greater than max, print out the count. Now max right here is 5, and I do max times 2, store it into count. Count now will be 5 times 2, which is 10. So 10 is greater than max. Max is 5. 10 is greater than 5. So you can imagine how many times this is going to print out. As we see here, we get 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. That's not good. Well, guys, let's see why this probably happened. You know why it happened? Because we did not decrease 10, which I wanted to do. So now what we did right here is we're saying count is going to be equal to count minus 1. That means count will be going down. It means this while loop will eventually end. So remember, you got to be careful with that. You don't want a while loop to go continuously because it can eat up resources. Let's stop that. Let's run it again. Now we should, for a fact, end it. There you go. So we get 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Because every time it prints, it decreases it. So we say it's 10 greater than max, which is 5. Yes, print it. Decrease it by 1 means the next go around it should be 9. 9 greater than 5, yes, print it. Print out 9. We decrease 9 by 1, which means 8. Next go around should be 8. 8 greater than 5, and so on until we get 6. And that right there, we print out 5 times, which makes sense because count is greater than, I times it by 2, therefore, just simple math can make you understand that you should at least go through it 5 times. But you can do it on paper to make it even more come to life for you if you have to. But that right there is an example of how you do a while loop. And remember, you got to find a way to break out of it, or while loops will continue forever. Best way is to have something on the outside, like how we have this count right here. Therefore, we can change it in the inside. That way, every time it checks it, it's something different rather than defining count on the inside of here. Because if we do count and define it on the inside of this while loop, it's going to run forever. And let's go to our last thing, and that's the for loop. So for our for loop, what we have an array of emotions. There's for, tired, happy, sad, and excited. So we have the start text. Again, I love const. So I did I feel so. Therefore, anything where I put the start text, I do not have to change it, but only in the area that I put it, which is right here. So we say for emotion and emotions. Python is very English orientated. So with that being said, I like to follow along with that too. So emotion, because it's a for loop. So it's saying we're going through the emotions. Therefore, if we're going through all the emotions, that means we will be expecting one emotion. So I'm saying for emotion in emotions. So it's saying for every emotion in here, we're going to go through it. And that's what we define here, emotion. So emotion and emotions means when we go through the for loop, we're looking at this one first. Then we'll look at this one next, and this one next, and this one next. And what we're going to do for the emotion is we're going to print it out. So we're going to have the start text, I feel so, plus the emotion, which will be tired. And then we're going to, if emotion equals happy, break. Break simply means this for loop just auxiliary. So we don't continue it. And if we're happy, break out. Because who wants to be sad? So we just want to break out after being happy. So if we run this, you should only see tired and happy print out. I feel so tired and I feel so happy, but it does not print anything else. Why? Because the for loop broke with this break. And when you break a for loop, it breaks this for loop. Now we're going, again, more advanced studies will show like if we do like a for loop and a for loop and we break, it only breaks in the one it's referring to. So if we did this for loop and we had like an outside for loop, let's just say, for example, this outside one, this for loop right here would break, but the outside one would still go. But again, we'll talk more about that in advanced studies. Now, if we go ahead and remove this line right here, we should see all the emotions print out. I feel so tired, happy, sad, and excited. So that right there covers this video, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you took a lot in, and we'll see you again in week 3.